everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Mismatched. So, today's guest, my very first guest, is a reality TV icon, if I do say so myself, pop culture lightning rod, and now a chart topping comeback queen. You also may know her as the girl who didn't go to Paris. Yes, I am talking about the one and only Heidi Montag. So you first met her on The Hills. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up watching that show religiously. So it was super cool to be able to sit down with her to talk about, motherhood. Sadly, her and Spencer and her two sons had a tragedy and lost their home in the LA fires recently. And so we talked a little bit about that. And again, her pop star career and how that has just taken off. She has a new music on the rise and released a new album full of old stories, new stories. I get it all the tea. So take a listen to this.
Hi, Heidi. My name is Nicole. I am from Toronto. This is Mismatched, and I am so excited to be here with you today because I have been a fan of yours from the very beginning, very beginning. I want to first congratulate you on all the success and also, lend my heart and apologies to what you've been going through because I know it hasn't been easy. So it's like the catch-22. But I also want to talk about No Going Home because it's a really beautiful, powerful song. And, I want to know, what does that represent for you? And what was that journey like, putting what you've gone through into a beautiful song?
Well, thank you so much for having me on and being an OG fan and supporter. So I appreciate that. But yeah, it's been a lot, and it's been a lot to go through, and it has been kind of that catch-22 where I've been at my lowest low and my highest high at the same time. So to have my dreams be able to translate through such a dark time has been shocking and amazing and very, very. I don't know. It's unfathomable.
I feel like it's also no, it's a lot, and I imagine that it was. And I am not, an artist in any way, but I imagine there was something like therapeutic about also kind of being able to put all those thoughts and emotions, well, first down on paper, and then be able to express it in that artistic way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And no going home, I really wanted to be able to have that outlet and to be able to share my heart also of what I was going through. And I feel like there's nothing that can speak to people's souls and spirits and emotions quite like music. And that's why people resonate so well with someone like Taylor Swift, because you really feel her heart and things that she's going through. And so I thought it would be a great way to be able to feel some of that emotion and to be able to have that outlet of what was happening. And it is something you can't explain. It's a very interesting experience that you go through. And so it is very resonating of how they're just kind of, I guess, emotional.
I'm sorry.
There just kind of is no going home. And it's just a weird feeling, when it's not your choice. But there is so much beauty in that, and deciding okay, well, where do you go and what do you do? And I always think I'm not so emotional about it, but it just it's a lot with your kids and their world and your community and everyone experiencing that together. And it doesn't make it easier, but sometimes it makes it more important, that it's not just you going through something and it's bigger than me and it's not just us that is experiencing this. And then you don't realize how many people can't go home and don't go home for other reasons and how that resonates with other people. I've had people reach out to me about this song saying, I wasn't able to go home for this reason, and this really spoke to my heart for that experience. So I think that's another thing with art and music, is that it does resonate with everybody differently and represents different experiences like that. So I was wanting to be able to share that.
like you said, I think a lot of people have resonated with it, and it's important to create art in that way so that, people feel like they're not alone. One of the lyrics for me that particularly stood out was, everybody says, hold on to hope. And I try and put myself in your position, and I think to myself, it's easier said than done. Like,
Right.
it's really, really hard. And as you said, like, you're a mom too. So it's like, not only you're having to put on, I imagine, a brave face for them as well, right?
Yeah, and that was, going into fight or flight mode and survival mode for your kids too, and wanting them to be able to have their own emotions and validate that, but help them to be um, positive or to be able to move forward in a healthy capacity. I mean, that's a lot to think of. Like, how do I help my children not be so
Yeah.
traumatized in this experience and to come out and to go into a whole different world and make all new friends and to have lost everything that my 7-year-old has collected, like this snake skin. Like there's just these little things for them. It's definitely a roller coaster. I mean, sometimes it's easier and that sometimes it's harder, like any type of loss. And obviously, at the end of the day, it is a house that we can rebuild and things that, most of it can be replaced. But, so at least it's not a person. And I always say that, Spencer is my home and my family is my home. And at the same time, it's my stuff and my place. And yeah, home is more than just things. It's a refuge from the world. It's a place you love and live. It's a place that's your safe haven. So it's so many different layers on so many different levels. And I know a lot of people have experienced that, in Florida and the natural disasters and all across the world. And I do count my blessings. And I know I'm so blessed to have had a home and to have had the things that we've had in it and our pillows and our, everything that we had, my son's toys. And so I do keep it all in perspective. And I know that life is very short. And it's always a good reminder of that there is no full-time home here and that life is short and everything is fleeting and anything can be gone in a moment. So I'm just always looking around to Spencer like, well, the apocalypse could be any minute or a tsunami. Like I'm just prepared still for an earthquake or I have no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
So I just feel like who knows what could be around the corner. I don't, that's for sure.
No, I don't think anyone does, honestly. And that's why, like you're saying, I think it helps remind you of like home is your love, is your family, or those are the things that, it is what reminds you of what home is all about. For you now, not only like did the online community like kind of gather and rally and support you, but also I'm sure you've had like amazing friends and family that have kind of stepped up. Was there anyone in particular who was like surprising to you that you're like, I can't believe this person reached out to make sure that I'm okay or like offer their support or advice or guidance? Is there anybody like that in your life that was kind of like shocking that that reached that person?
Avril Lavigne, I think that was the most shocking. She's like,
Oh,
I'm coming over and I'm bringing you some essentials and I'm
oh,
bringing wine. And she like drove up from her house all the way in LA and brought things to us and hung out with us and was just like right there, and physically in person and like delivering all these things. And that was incredible. Kelty Knight, who's always been a great friend of ours, she donated so much stuff and bought stuff for the boys and for all of us and just fully helped. There were so many strangers that really stepped up. It's so emotional. Who I'm so appreciative of that sent socks and a pan and like all these things that I look around my house. I'm like, what a blessing to have, and it's things that you wouldn't pick. So when I see it, I just think of this person or that. So I'm just so appreciative that everybody stepped up and everybody stepped in and, every download and every stream to my music and every video anybody made, everybody really stepped up for us. And I didn't think anyone would. And I just really appreciate that. Obviously, my family I'm so close with and, Spencer's family lost everything too. So that's been another challenge. And, we've been dealing with that. But my best friend actually lives in Santa Barbara. So she's come over so much and helped. And yeah, it's it's very revealing.
and I would, well, in the same sentence, I was just going to ask you, has it also been like eye-opening or like disappointing from the lack thereof? Because I feel like when tragedy strikes, it's like it makes it very clear who your people are and who, you're like, okay, I see where we stand now.
Yeah, there have been both, and neither have been shocking. Like, people that you don't expect to step up, or that's always kind of nice. Like, okay, we don't need to pretend to have a relationship or be friends anymore or anything like that. But there is just so overwhelming with the amount of people who have. And within our community, everyone lost so much. I have all my friends, I mean, I have other friends in different places, but everybody in the Palisades. And I had friends that we were texting that morning and they were way down in the town and nobody thought that they were going to lose their homes and their things. And so I think the through line is that most people didn't take stuff because we all thought we were coming back. And, that's part of no going home too. It's like I thought I'd have more time, and we all did. We thought that we thought there were going to be firemen. We thought there were going to be fire trucks. Like I didn't even hear one siren all day. So that's why I didn't think it was such an emergency. I'm like, oh, it's over there. My son had 104 fever for 3 days.
Oh my God.
I know I was thinking about going to the hospital with him. Like that was what was on my mind. I was like, our son is so sick. He was home from school, which ended up being such a blessing in disguise because it was very traumatic for a lot of the kids at the school evacuating and their families coming and the chaos of that and kids crying and screaming. And, he was just at home watching a movie. And at the time, I thought that was such a hard place to be in with my son being so sick. But you never know how God can use things for good.
Speaking of good, this has like launched your career in like a whole new way. And with your album, coming out right now, what do you really hope like listeners, fans of yours, like audiences take away and learn from this album?
This album has truly been a labor of love. And I've been putting this album together for over a year now. And every song is a single to me, and that's how I do it. I'm the A&R. Spencer and I are the A&R. We have people that we bounce ideas off of, and at the end of the day, we are making all the decisions. So I'm excited. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a complex album. There's definitely a nostalgia in there of stories that I wasn't able to tell from the past. So it's kind of a catch-up album of where I left off until now. And it's a very fun album. It's a very explicit album. It tells all different sides of who I am and where I am now and where I came from.
Huge congratulations to you. Now, I know, speaking of where you came from, I don't know if you've realized this, but you've been in reality TV for 19 years. That's longer than the Kardashians, and they are like the empire of reality TV. So my question to you is, well, are you going back? Is the docuseries happening? And if so, again, like, how are you doing this differently this time? Because every time it's been different, right?
I'm not sure if I necessarily... it's very conflicting, reality TV. And I will never compromise my family. And I'm not going to compromise my music. So if a docuseries falls into that authentic area, then great. Otherwise, it's not really something I'd be interested in at this point. I really want to focus on the music, which has been my ultimate dream and has been having this moment. And I'm really appreciative of and want to continue to pour my focus into. And the thing with reality TV, it definitely sidetracks anything else, including my Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm so impressed with the Kardashians, the level that they've continued to maintain. And I'm so happy for them. Every time I've had an encounter with any of them, they are so incredible, down to earth, sweet, hardworking. I mean, I remember when Kim was filming for The Hills, organizing my closet, and they were like, oh yeah, we're not going to use the footage. And I'm like, you didn't use the footage of Kim Kardashian with my closet? That was such an moment.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool to hear and nice to hear. Heidi, now you mentioned, working with Spencer, and you guys have been, just a dynamic duo going through life. and like relationship goals, because I know it hasn't always been easy. No relationship is, but the world actually saw it, which makes it a little bit harder. What is it that like, what would you say is like the most important thing to keeping your relationship strong and going? And especially when you go through tragedy, like I imagine that's a whole other layer to a relationship of like support and compassion and patience. So what's the secret is what I'm asking.
There's so many. There's so many. I think really loving deep, and you have to really love that person more than yourself. You have to prioritize that person and appreciate them for who they are. Don't try to change them. Don't try to put them in a box. You know, you both change over time. Everyone changes. You're not going to be the same person that you were in your 20s or whatever age you meet. And so it's going through life with somebody. And that person is your biggest teammate. And so you need to treat them like your biggest teammate and have that support. You know, Spencer and I never hold on to the past. If we had a past argument, you don't hold grudges. It's really important to move quick and forgive quick. And, you know, that's always something from the Bible I always really held on to, was just to forgive quick and let go. I've never, ever brought up anything from the past, and neither has Spencer. So I think that's important. I think laughter is really important, and just enjoying being together, remembering what you love and continuing to love with that person, and then prioritizing each other. You know, Spencer and I are each other's number one. We have been since we met. We will be. You know, we love our children. They're very important too, but like mom and dad need to come together first, and we're the team, and then we have the kids. So it's just all these different things. Also, we work well together, so we understand each other's worlds so well. But yeah, I think that deep love, you know, you gotta dig deep in a very authentic, kind, like you said, patient way.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for the advice. I'm taking it and I need it. So thank you. Okay, Heidi, I have a quick fun game.
So the game is called Hills versus Hits, where I'm going to say a line from the Hills that you have said, actually, and a lyric from one of your songs, and you have to guess which one is where.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, so I'll read 2 lines to you. Okay, the first line is, I just want everything to be normal. And the other line is, there's no going back. So which one is from the Hills and which one is from one of your songs?
I just want everything to be normal is from the Hills. And
yes.
I hit.
Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay.
1 for 1.
The next one is, I was there for you through everything. And the next line is, I want to forgive you. I want to forget you.
Oh, well, both I want to forgive you, I want to forget you is also now from Forgive and Forget, which thank you, girl. Made the remix. So they're both from the Hills and my hit.
That was a trick one, and you nailed it. Yes, because that's where I actually looked.
All right. 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Okay, then the last one. I want to be like the fun party versus snapping pictures for the front cover of a magazine.
Snapping pictures for the front cover of a magazine, you know, is superficial.
Yeah. Bingo, 3 for 3. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks so
I love
much,
the cheers
Heidi.
in here. Thanks, guys. You don't see.
Okay, good.
There's 5 people in here. They're excited. Well, 6.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. And I wish you nothing but the best in the future of what it has to hold for you and your family.
Thank you. You too. And I know you're going to have that love if you don't already. So
thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And don't forget, Heidi Wood coming out 5:30. Check out the album. I'm very excited. This is an incredible dance track as well. Workout songs, fun songs, nostalgic songs. So listen to it. And the song Animals coming out, which is the single on it. You can listen to the TikTok sound now, SoundCloud. Check it out.